Hi guys. Well, I'm back at the chair at my property, and there's Clovis's little doghouse, which he never gets in. So I probably should get rid of it. But I keep thinking maybe one day he will, and he'll think, "Oh, this is nice." But anyway, so yesterday, I tried to lay out the. I had originally wanted, and I'll show you the picture of the cabin here in a minute. I had originally wanted to do this small little cabin up in the woods up here. And that's under the restrictions, 120 square feet. It was 8 by 15. So that was my original one. And then when I cleared out the other spot, which is bigger, and I was thinking, okay, I'll start out with a 10 by 12, or yeah, and then make it 12 by 16 to make it more livable later. But then I was thinking, I don't know, my ridge pole should be 16 feet. When I don't know how to build on to like the 10 by 12, make it a 12 by 16. I lived in a little house, or little teeny, somebody converted a garage once, and I think they put a build on for the bathroom towards the back. And when it rained, it was just like a waterfall coming straight down through that scene. So yeah, I don't think I mean, I'm sure if I tore up, I did a lot of stuff, it would just cost a lot more than doing it all at once. So I kind of gone back to my little cabin thought of up on the hill. So yesterday I was stringing that area out, which didn't need as much cleaning as the 16 by 20. And the 16 by 20 is down in the sun where I can use my solar panels. But this other one's up in the shade in the woods, so I won't have electricity. There's some different options there. But anyway, so I was stringing out the little one yesterday, which I had been dreading to do because I getting it square and everything. So doing that by yourself is pretty difficult, because you put in, a string here, or the post here that you're going to put the string around, and then you go up 15 feet, put a post there, then you go over 8 feet, put a post there, come down 15 feet, put a post there. But then, it has to be squared. So it was off. So it's, if somebody else was there, you could just kind of move one post and get it until it got square. And I know you put diagonal, you measure diagonally to make sure it's square. So it was off, I don't know, a foot or something. So I started to change it last night and just got frustrated. And so I'm going to work on that this morning. And what I did last night was I cut some strings already. There's 2 8-foot, and there's 2 15-foot, and 2 17-feet ones. So I'm going to go over there now, and we'll record a little bit of me walking around there on that mountain and trying to get my strings right. And hopefully, with God's blessing, I'm going to just walk over there, because I moved them some last night, but I didn't check them again. So I'm going to walk over there and string it up, and maybe it's going to be perfect. Darn. I thought for sure this ridge pole, or this, I don't know, 4x4, I don't know what it was used for. I got it off of off my neighbor's burn pile, because he had done some demolition and was rebuilding, and it looks in fine shape. It's really heavy, so it's sturdy and I think in good shape. Look how long it is. I thought for sure it would be 15 feet long and I could use it for my ridge pole on this little cabin, but it's 14 feet. Shoot. I'm not sure if I can. 14 feet, so that would be 6 inches on each side. Except for I wanted a foot overhang too. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. But anyway, that's a shame. I mean, I'm sure I'll use it some way without cutting it up. But darn, I wish it was 15 or 16 feet. Okay, back to stringing. Yeah, see, this site is in the shade, which is great for summer. But over here on the other site that I cleared, and it's morning, I don't know what time it is, but it's full of sunshine already. So that is going to be the more permanent living spot over here, and the solar panels are going to work great. The thing is when I read about regulations, there's something, you pay so much for a permit for this and that and the other, and the permits, I think, for the tiny homes are more because they became so popular and they wanted to make money off of them. And the tiny homes are supposed to be on wheels, which makes Desiderata perfect, but they can't live in a metal building. So anyway, I have to go get the paperwork because there was something about a building under 20 by 20, and I don't know if that was considered a tiny home. So this 16 by 12, I don't know. We'll have to go get the paperwork and see what if it has to have wheels or something. Yeah, Wendy and Jeremy would know a little bit more about this. The landlord that they used to have had built a whole bunch of small little studios, I think it was called, the one they were in. And when the county started cracking down a couple years ago, he got in all kinds of trouble. So all his tenants had to move out and all kinds of stuff. So we'll see what we have to do. But the other thing about this spot is it's really close to the opening on the corner where the neighbor lives, and that's a flat little spot out there that the septic tank could go. And then over this way somewhere, if I ever got the money for a well, wells are like $10,000. So most people out here just have a water tank that they fill. But anyway, I think, and the septic tank has to be so far from the well. So I think if the septic was over there, then somewhere over this way there could be a well. When I sell my book and make lots of money. Okay, so that's coming out pretty good, but you know, I am the kind of person that just rounds things off, and we have to be very exact. It can't be 1 inch off. So one problem that I have to solve here, I'm trying to dig a couple bushes out there, so there's some holes in the ground and some dirt that's piled up. I need to rake all this so that it's flat, because of course if it's going up over rocks and bushes and the string, that's going to add an inch or two here and there. So I'm going to get the rake out and get all this raked out smooth, and then get my measurements going again. Well, it's pretty frustrating as usual. I didn't bring my rake. I remember looking at it at the mesa and thinking, oh, you don't really need it. It's so hard having everything there when I need it all here. But anyway, so I'll just sort of push it around with my shovel and feet and hands and see if I can get it all downhill. I guess we'll work on it. It's getting exciting though. By next week, I'm going to see it start building off the ground. Okay, I'd have to get my level out, but I did put that board, that 14-foot board up at the, was it 14? Yeah, because I wanted 16 foot. Anyway, I put it up at the back and brought it across here where I'd had this one pole in the ground for a couple years now, because I always thought I was going to build in this spot. Anyway, that needs to be cut shorter. I need my level, of course, to see that that's actually level, and it needs to still come out a couple more feet and have a, of course, a cement pillar or the lodge pole. This is going to have the 6-foot walls. So the lodge pole, I don't think I can get one. I can't lift one that long because it would have to be 2 or 3 feet into the ground. So 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I got a 6-foot one, and it was pretty heavy for me. So I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, that's given me an idea of how it's going to come out and be up off the ground on this end, of course, because it's built into the hill. And it's given me a little bit of an idea where my root cellar is going to be. If the door's out here, it's going to have to be, I think, as soon as you walk in, because right up through there is a whole, looks like a whole ridge of rocks. So I'm thinking I won't be able to dig, because I need, that storage thing's going to be 4 feet, which that's, so I don't really have to dig in the ground too far, because this end of the cabin is going to be about 3 feet, 2.5 or 3 feet, I don't know, something like that off the ground. So I only have to dig into the ground maybe about 1.5 feet here and make my, I'm going to take some pallets, do everything with pallets. I had the friend at, the girl at, she's not there anymore, at the chili line, built a house in southern New Mexico out of filling pallets with cement. So my little 4-foot food cellar here is going to be lined with cement-filled pallets. And like I said, most of that will be sticking up out of the ground, but it'll open up into the floor of the cabinet, or the cabin, with a trap door. So when you walk in, there'll be a rug, and you can pull up the trap door and get the food out. Oh, I'm gonna love it. Keep it from the bears. Yeah. And my bed will be back there. I think queen size beds are 5 feet wide. So it's gonna be pretty much like the bus. It'll be towards, except for it'll be clear at the back. So it'll come 5 feet out this way. And then I'll have 10 feet from there on out here to live in until my bigger place gets built. I'm so excited, and I don't really want to, I'm getting excited to get the door uncovered and put on the front. But I'd like to uncover it and show it to you, but I don't want to wrap it and unwrap it, and it's keeping safer all wrapped up over there. That's the door my cousin Jill gave me. Jill, it's going to be so exciting to see the door up on my place. Yay! I'm getting so excited on my building. Oh my gosh, I can see it. Oh, that's getting closer. I am so excited, and I'm going to call Larry first thing as I leave the canyon Friday morning. So I'm going to get on it. So exciting. Right now I brought my level. I'm going to level the boards and see if the measurement's any different from coming straight across or going down on the ground. Wow. Yeah, I was off on my on my level. Last time I showed this picture, it was on top of this shorter stump, which I thought that looked level. And I thought I'd have 2.5 or 3 feet into the ground to put my root cellar. But now that I brought the level out, and I know I've got a long level that'll give me a truer read, but with this short level, the bubble is pretty much on, and I had to dig into the ground up at that end to get it to be level, which I think I'm going to get those little cement things that people get to put, you know, smaller buildings and sheds on, for that side of the cabin. And then I'll put pole logs, and it's going to be a pole building the rest of the way. And I thought this end was going to be 2.5 or 3 feet up in the air, but that post there isn't even all the way down to 8 feet. This guy down here is. So by the time I get down there, it's going to be 4 feet up. So my little storage is practically, I'll have to cut it into the ground a little bit, but it's going to be practically just sitting on the ground underneath the cabin. Wow. It's pretty exciting. Kind of liking that. Boy, with 4 feet underneath there, Clovis can just lay underneath the cabin. I better build it safe so it doesn't fall on him. Oh, I'm going to have plenty of support under there. I'm not going to worry about that. Wow. I can't believe it came up that much further than what I originally had it on this little one now. So it's going to be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, generally, Larry, the building inspector, he told me if it's more than a 20-foot grade up the mountain or whatever, they have to call in specialists and all that kind of stuff. But that's for a real home. So for this shed, it'll be fine. Well, it's going to be my home. You know, they give you a permit to stay in your RV while you're building. And since everybody up here is having a fit about the bus, I don't know if Desiderata will be able to come. But if I have to sell Desiderata to the scrap metal yard to get a couple $1,000s to help me build something, I guess I might have to do that. But anyway, it's coming along, and I'll get my little heater for this little place from the county. I think they give the money out in, I don't think it's August, I think it's October. They give you an allowance for your propane bill. Plus, if you need a new heater, they'll get you the money for that. So, a new little wall heater in this little space. This space is smaller than the bus is, although I put a lot of curtains up generally in the bus just to keep the heat back by my bed. So, a little nice wall heater. The propane tanks will sit over on that side because the bed's going to be back there. So the middle of the room will be there. I'll have a wall heater, and it should heat it up pretty nice. The ceiling's going to be a lot taller than the bus, but I'm also going to put a slight little loft for storage. So, pretty exciting. Better keep watching to see how the plans progress. Okay, so here's my form for my cement base that are going to go in the ground, and they're 8 inches. The ones over at my neighbor's cabins, I noticed on all of his cabins, he poured like 12-foot cement pillars. I don't know how often he put them. I might go look and see if I can see how many he's got. I think they're supposed to go every 4 feet. something else. That's the only thing I've really questioned is, you know, I know you got 16 on center for your walls, and your rafters are generally 18, I think, to 24, but I never quite figured out, and I think your joists are the same, but I never knew about your, like your pillars. So I have to go get my book out, get that figured out on how many of those I need. Like I said, I was thinking it was 4 feet. So if it's 4 feet and I've got a 15-foot building, you know, I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you got 1 in the beginning, and then 4 feet, 2, 3, 4. I really know, I just can't think. I'm thinking you need 5 if you go every 4 feet, because you have 1 on each end, plus 2 in the middle. Okay, so I gotta get all my drawings and my calculations going, but I'm still getting excited. Oh, look at that, I love it. Pretty exciting. Broke ground. My first, I gotta, you know, in Ohio it's 3 feet to the frost line. You had to dig your holes. But when I moved out here, I was surprised it was only like 2 feet. But then I haven't even dug 1 foot, almost 1 foot. So anyway, broke ground. Broke ground, yay! I should have a ribbon to cut or a bottle of champagne to break. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. I could ramble on and on. I'm pretty excited about the progress today. But, and I did promise a picture of the little cabin. Now this little cabin that I saw that I like, it originally was done with a vertical shot. And YouTube's you gotta film them horizontal. So when I, you know, tried to get it cut down to a horizontal shot, it lost a lot of it, but you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So I'm going to put that up next. And everybody like and share and comment and subscribe. And remember, Clovis and I love you.